Alright, what's up YouTube? It's Vince the Prince, aka Oh Snap Vince, with another new YouTube video for you. This time about a true story that happened to me way back in 2011 when I worked as an independent wrestling ring announcer. Still doing it to this day, just not working with the same company as in 2011. It's a very interesting story, so let's get into it. April 15th, 2011 at Newburgh Free Academy High School in Newburgh, New York, a company called Northeast Wrestling had an event as a fundraiser for the school, and as part of the event, one of the contracted talent was Sabu. Hailing from Bombay, Michigan, the nephew of the original Sheik Ed Farhat, Terry Brunk, aka Sabu, is the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal maniac that not only took ECW by storm, but also made appearances in the WWF and WWE, WCW, and many other promotions. By 2011, he was no longer involved in any of the major promotions, had a little bit of a kerfuffle with him and RVD taking a ride and having a smoke, if you will, no longer with the company. So he was at this event here in Newburgh Free Academy High School, and there was a four-way elimination tables match. This is right up Sabu's alley. Hardcore wrestler, elimination tables match. Three other guys who are in it to win it. We had Ron Zombie, a Connecticut hardcore wrestling legend who is still wrestling to this day. We had Ryan McBride from Maryland. Haven't heard much of him in the last few years. He had some matches for a couple years, did a stint with Ring of Honor, and now he's out of the business. And the fourth competitor in the match was Vic Delicious, one half of the tag team The Now, and they are still competing right now in the NWA. You can check them out on Fight and YouTube. But at this time, we are in Newburgh Free Academy High School, a high school gym with tables laid out for our tables match. Sabu, before the match, let's say not in the best mood. All right, I'm going to try and say this in a way that doesn't get me sued, so here we go. Sabu had a headache, and he only had Tylenol. And there were two other wrestlers in the locker room that had Excedrin. And he decided that in exchange for his Tylenol, they would give him some Excedrin. Well, I don't know if you know this, but when you take Tylenol and Excedrin together, it's a little bit of overkill. So Sabu, maybe not in the best state of mind for this match. But we continue. The match goes on. As predicted, there's only two guys left, and one of them's Sabu. So, the tables are under the ring. Sabu goes to the first corner. Then he walks around to the second corner. And then he walks around to the third corner. Each time he looks, he can't find the table that he's looking for. The problem is, the table's in the fourth corner, and he hasn't checked there yet. So he goes 1, 2, 3, and instead of going to 4, he goes back to 2. And that just makes him very, very angry. Sabu is not having this. Even though he's only checked 3 sides, he thinks he's checked the 4th side, and he thinks there's no table out there, and that somebody's messing with him. So he screams, "Where the fuck is the table?" To nobody. Nobody could help him. There was one other option, though. Aside from the table under the ring, there was the table I was sitting at. The timekeeper's table. Timekeeper's table has my notes on it. It has the ring bell, and it has a couple chairs with a couple people sitting next to it, the ring announcer and the timekeeper specifically. Sabu, in his rage, decided that he was going to use the table that was out there, my table. So he clears everything off, papers, chairs, notes, everything goes. We run out of the way, myself and the timekeeper, and as he's clearing the table, he takes his hand and kind of scoops underneath the ring bell and sends it flying towards the barricade, towards the audience. I see this happen, and as one of the only non-wrestlers out there, the only personnel ringside, I felt I had to do something. If you don't know, ring bells aren't just little ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. No, they're cast iron, they're heavy, they're like 10 pounds at least, and he flung it into the air to go get the table. Now, as he was going to get the table and finish the match and put the other guy through and win and all that stuff, I'm seeing this bell fly through the air, and I put out my hand to catch it. I know, looking back 11 years later, probably not the best thing to do, but I don't know, I saw something flying in the air and I had my reflexes ready, so I put my hand out and I caught it enough to knock it down, so it dropped in front of the barricade. But one of the edges, because it's like imagine like a cast iron pan, but just kind of like sharper edges around it. I caught it, and it hit the side of my hand and my fingers, and they immediately swole up. Luckily, this was the last match before intermission. I was able to go back into the locker room, grab some tape up my fingers, and go back out and do the second half of the show. Even though people were wondering, why the hell does the ring announcer have his fingers taped up? Did Sabu actually break my hand? The truth is, I don't know. Frankly, it was a Friday night. We had 2 more shows on Saturday and Sunday. I didn't have the time or the money to go and get x-rays or anything. I taped my fingers up and worked the rest of the tour, and we're good. We're good. So I still have all my functioning digits, even though an ECW Legend damn near took my hand off. Accidentally. I don't blame Sabu at all. Maybe there should be more than like 1 or 2 tables under the ring for a match like this. Usually WWE has a bunch around the ring, so there's not really a question of where the next table is coming from. I also understand it's an independent wrestling budget, so they're not going to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of tables, so they really only had the tables that they could afford to break at the time, and I think we went 1 table over budget that night, unfortunately, but it was a great show, a lot of memories from that show specifically, and a lot of memories not just at the Newburgh Free Academy shows, which we did annually for several years, but a lot of memories from working backstage and independent wrestling shows over the last decade plus. Alright, so that'll do it for this backstage wrestling story. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and let me know that I should make more. I've been working in wrestling, as I said, for a decade plus as a ring announcer, so I've got plenty of stories from over the years, and I would love to share them all with you if you're receptive to hearing them. So again, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if you want to hear more of this wrestling stuff. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, because I upload soda review shorts. I upload stand-up comedy shorts. I just uploaded a 5-minute stand-up comedy set last week that I did in Fairfield, Connecticut. So I'm on this YouTube journey, and you guys are along with me. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.